Thank you, Madam President. Just one moment. The agenda has been shared in the chat, so everyone can open that. I'm sorry, I'll be logging in from my laptop in a while. As of the agenda, Madam President, we this is the latest agenda. I have made few changes in the final agenda as shared in the group already. Toastmaster Omar Mukhtar came for Toastmaster Roya Adil, who was supposed to be the evaluator number three. So far everything looks perfectly fine. I do see all the role players attending, except Kamal. Can someone correct me if Kamal is in the meeting room yet?
No, Kamal is not here.
Okay. If Kamal doesn't join in on time, then I will step in as the table topic master. So in case Kamal is not here on time, I will be the table topic master. Apart from that, everything looks perfectly fine. We are good to go, Madam President. You can raise motion to adopt the agenda with this change.
Thank you, Vice President of Education. Can someone please raise a motion to adopt the agenda?
Madam President, I raise a motion to adopt the agenda with a slight change.
Thank you, Dr. Thuraya. Can someone second it, please?
I second the motion raised by DTM Thuraya.
Madam Secretary, please note that the motion to adopt the agenda was raised by DTM Thuraya and seconded by Toastmaster Omar Mukhtar. Alrighty, I see quite a few new faces joining us today. We have a few guests, and I would like to welcome our guests to our meeting and have them introduce themselves if possible. I will call out your names, and if you can just give us a short introduction. Toastmaster Andy.
Thank you. Good morning. I say good morning because I'm in the United States. I'm in California and it is 7:04 Saturday morning. I'm happy to be here with you and look forward to a great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Andy. It's really great to have you joining us. Next, we have, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Jermaine.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Jermaine Emmanuel Arpas. I am from District 75, the Philippines. So I'm saying good evening because it's 10 o'clock in the evening here in the Philippines. So I'm looking forward for a fruitful meeting with you. Thank you for welcoming me. Back to you.
Thank you. It's really great to have you with us. And I do believe those are all the guests, right? Am I missing anyone? Can someone help me with that?
Yes,
Is that Hamid, our Hamid, or like, because we have two Hamids right now. So is that both Hamid Jam'a or somebody else?
I think it's someone else.
No, that's me.
Oh, okay, fine. Oh, he's logged in from his phone. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay, then welcome to all our guests to our meeting. Let's give all our guests a lovely round of applause. It's really great to have you. Now, before we jump into today's meeting, we would like to go through our business session really quickly. For the benefit of the non-Toastmaster guests, the business session is where we discuss club business and news. I hereby call the business session to order. Secretary, can you please check if our quorum is complete?
Yes, Madam President, our quorum is complete.
Perfect, that's great. All right. Thank you, DTM Saraya. Is there any old business to be discussed? Going once, going twice, and thrice. Is there any new business to be discussed? Going once, twice, and thrice. Perfect. Can someone please raise a motion to close the business session?
Madam President, I raise the motion to close the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma. Can someone second the motion, please?
Toastmaster, I object to raise the second motion.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Madam Secretary, please note that the motion to close the business session by Toastmaster Fatma by Toastmaster Mahmoud. Summer vibes. I don't know in what part of the world you are, but where we are right now, the world has closed down It has been closed down for a couple of weeks now, and we still have 2 more weeks of everything being closed down. And by everything, I mean all the malls, all the beaches, all the pools, anything fun and summery that you can possibly do, which is really why it was so important to have this meeting, to not only feel the heat from the outside, but to get to have a bit of summery fun, at least with each other in our little Toastmasters niche. I hope that this is the last summer that we are suffering with COVID. I truly hope that this is the last time that we have to go through this and be locked down, and that the world can go back to normal, although I've kind of forgotten what normal looks like, but I'm still hoping for it. I hope everyone is doing well and all the families are safe everywhere around the world. And I truly hope that this summer is the beginning of going back to normal and having our lives return to the way they were before. And in the essence of remaining with the Toastmaster spirit, it is very important that even though we've been going through this pandemic worldwide, Toastmasters has survived and has continued to flourish. In Santa Ana, California, in the year 1924, one person, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, had a vision to teach people about communication, to teach people about business sessions and how to conduct and communicate in a business environment. And that one person's vision, it traveled to over 140 countries with more than 17,000 clubs all around the world. If that was possible, then it is possible for this pandemic to be over and for summer vibes to be a real thing and for us to go back to normal life and enjoy our summers the way we always wanted to enjoy them. I hope that this is a good meeting that everybody enjoys, and let us jump straight into it with our induction of a new member. I will hereby hand over the virtual floor to our Vice President of Membership to take over this session. Toastmaster Colin Lobo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, our Madam President, for that introduction, and a very good afternoon, good morning to all of you gathered here across the world. We were supposed to have our induction ceremony for today. However, the newly inducted member who has completed all the membership processes has been called into work in a work-related emergency. He will hopefully be in the meeting here today. If not, he will be inducted in the next meeting. This has duly been communicated with the Vice President of Education as well, and hopefully we look forward to either welcoming the member in this meeting or the meeting to come. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, our Vice President of Membership. We truly hope that we can go on with the induction today. If so, then let us move on to our next order of business, which is, as you might know, some of you might not know, but as you might know, the term 2021 and 2022 elections are taking place today. Our term as ExCom leaders is coming to a wrap and an end, and hopefully today we are able to elect and choose our leaders, who will hold up the club and make sure that everything goes according to plan next term, inshallah. And the person that will be leading these elections is none other than our own Mama DTM Thuraya Jam'a. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam President, Toastmaster, and distinguished guests. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you again. So this is a very important event in Toastmaster Club calendar. Serving as an officer in our clubs is an honor, and it is part of our Toastmaster promise. So today we are going to conduct the election for our club, and holding a quality elections is the beginning of the end of the current term and the beginning of a great next term, which will start July 2021. So as the first step of the process, I have to request the secretary, which is me this time, to establish the quorum, and we have the quorum to conduct the election, which is 17. Let me check. So we have the quorum as 15 out of 20 members are attending. And as So let us start the election. Just I will ask DTM Khurram, so I go the process, or do I need to announce the names at the beginning and then start the election?
Ideally, we would announce the names in the beginning, the whole thing, and then we will go one by one, taking their consent, asking if any opposition is there, and then go ahead with it.
Right. Okay. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank first of all the committee for doing the process of nomination, for contacting all members and making sure that we did not miss anyone, ask them to take part in leading the club in the coming term. And the nomination committee managed to secure most of the office role, except one office, unfortunately, still is vacant. And we hope that today we are going to find some member is going to come forward and cover that place. So according to the nomination committee, this is the nomination list. So we have, starting from the president. So the nomination committee nominated the following members: as president, Toastmaster Ali Septain; as a VP education, Toastmaster Roya Adil; as a VP PR, Toastmaster Umar Mukhtar; as a secretary, Toastmaster Colin; as a treasurer, Toastmaster Muzahar; and as a sergeant at arms, Toastmaster Mahmoud. The position which is still vacant, and we are hoping that one of the members today will come forward and take that position, is the VP membership. All these nominee was contacted by the committee, and they know about the role and they accepted the role. So let us move for the next stage, which is conducting the election. So today we will be electing the officers in the following order. So I will start with the president, and then VP, vice president education, vice president membership, vice president public relations, secretary, treasurer, and finally sergeant at arms. First, I will announce the position and request the nomination committee chair. Already I announced the candidate. So I will request someone to second the nomination, and any member may stand and second the nomination. Then I will request the nominee to mention his or her consents to accept the role. Then we will request the nomination for the position from the floor, and that will be the announcement for 3 times. I hope all clear for the nominee and for all members. Then finally, I will ask the secretary to cast a vote, a single ballot on behalf of the candidate. If there is, of course, if there is no one from the floor. And then we will announce the elected candidate. This process will be repeated for all the positions. So let us start the election. A president, nomination committee chair, as announced that the nomination committee nominated Toastmaster Ali Septain. So can a member please second the nomination? So any member can say that I nominate Toastmaster Ali as a president for the club.
I nominate Toastmaster Ali as a president for the club.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. And as I said, Toastmaster Ali is not with us today, but all of the members accept the nomination. So I will move to the next stage. Are there any nominations for the post of president from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of a president from the floor? And for the last time, are there any other nominations for the post of a president from the floor? In the absence of no other nomination, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post of president?
Madam Madam Jama, election chair, I would like to raise the motion to close the nomination for the post of president.
Thank you, Toastmaster Johnny. Can someone second the nomination, the proposal to close the nomination?
I second the opinion, DTM, Dr. G. Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Robin. Secretary can cast a single ballot on behalf of the candidate. So I cast a vote on behalf of Toastmaster Ali to be elected as president for the incoming term. So the president for Bahrain Elite Speakers Toastmaster for the next term will be Toastmaster Ali Septain. Moving to the second nomination, which is the VP Education. The nomination committee nominated Toastmaster Ru'ya Adil for this position. Can a member please second the nomination?
Madam Thuraiya, I second the nomination.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Johnny. Toastmaster Ru'ya is already here. So Toastmaster Ru'ya, do you accept the nomination for the position of Vice President Education?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I accept.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ru'ya. Are there any other nominations for the post of Vice President Education from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of Vice President Education from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post Vice President Education from the floor? In the absence of any other nominations, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post Vice President Education?
I propose to close the nomination.
Thank you, Toastmaster Robin. Can a member please second the proposal?
Dr. TJ, I second the proposal mentioned by Toastmaster Robin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khurram. And Secretary will cast a vote, a single ballot on behalf of the candidate. So as a Secretary, I cast a single vote on behalf of Toastmaster Ru'ya as a VP Education. So the Vice President Education for the next term is Toastmaster Ru'ya Adil. Moving on to the Vice President Public Relations Nomination Committee nominated Toastmaster Umar Al-Mukhtar for this position. So can a member please propose second the nomination?
Toastmaster Thuraiya, I propose to second the motion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Toastmaster Umar Al-Mukhtar, do you accept the nomination for the position as of Vice President Public Relations?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I do accept the role.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. Are there any other nominations for the post of Vice President Public Relations from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post Vice President Public Relations from the floor? And for the last time, are there any other nominations for the post of Vice President Public Relations from the floor? In the absence of any other nominations, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post of Vice President Public Relations?
DTM Thuraiya, I propose to close the motion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Can a member please second the proposal, please?
Dr. Thuraiya, I second the proposal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohail. And the Secretary will cast a single vote, a single ballot on behalf of the candidate. The Vice President Public Relations for the next term is Toastmaster Umar Al-Mukhtar. Round of applause. Moving on to the next position, which is a Secretary, the Nomination Committee nominated Toastmaster Colin for the nomination for the position of Secretary. Can a member please second the nomination?
Toastmaster Thuraya, I hereby second the motion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. So Toastmaster Colin, do you accept the nomination for the position of secretary?
Yes, I do. Dr. Thuraya, I accept the nomination for the role of secretary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Colin. Are there any other nomination for the post of secretary from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of secretary from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of secretary from the floor? In the absence of any other nominations, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post of secretary? Thank you,
Madam
Toastmaster.
Dr. Thuraya, I second the motion to close the nomination for the post of secretary.
Thank you. Can a member please second the proposal?
Toastmaster Thuraya, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster
I
Ahmed. Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. So secretary will cast a single ballot on behalf of the candidate. So as a secretary, I cast a single ballot on behalf of Toastmaster Colin as a secretary. So the secretary for the next term is Toastmaster Colin. Nomination, moving on to the next position, which is a treasurer. Nomination committee chairs, so as announced that it is Toastmaster Muzahar. So can a member please second the nomination, which is that Toastmaster Muzahar will be nominated as the treasurer for the upcoming term? Can the member second?
I second the nomination of Toastmaster Muzahar as the treasurer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma. Toastmaster Muzahar is not with us here, but as I said, he accepted the nomination for the position of a treasurer. So we thank him for accepting to help and to lead the club as well. Are there any other nominations for the post of treasurer from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of treasurer from the floor? And for the last time, are there any other nominations for the post of treasurer from the floor? In the absence of any other nominations, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post of a treasurer? Can a member propose to close?
I propose to close the nomination.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatma. Can a member please second the proposal?
I second the proposal, Dr. Thuraya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Colin. And the secretary will cast a single ballot. So as a secretary, I cast a single ballot on behalf of Toastmaster Muzahar. So the treasurer for the next term is Toastmaster Muzahar. Sergeant at Arms, the nomination committee nominated Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi for the position of Sergeant at Arms. Can a member please second the nomination?
I second the nomination, Doctor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rowan. Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi, do you accept the nomination for the position of Sergeant at Arms?
Toastmaster Thuraya, I accept the role as Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Are there any other nominations for the post of Sergeant at Arms from the floor? Are there any other nominations for the post of Sergeant at Arms from the floor? And for the last time, are there any other nomination for the post of Sergeant at Arms from the floor? In the absence of any other nomination, can a member please propose to close the nomination for the post of Sergeant at Arms?
I propose to close it, Doctor.
Thank you, Toastmaster Robin. And can a member please second the proposal?
I second the proposal, Dr. Thuraya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. And secretary will cast a single ballot now. So as a secretary, I cast a single ballot on behalf of Toastmaster Mahmoud. The Sergeant at Arms for our club for the upcoming term is Toastmaster Mahmoud. So thank you all for coming forward and for accepting the nomination. Now we are having one position left, which is the Vice President for membership. We approach all members and still the position is vacant. So this is a good opportunity for members who are attending to come forward and take the lead and take the role. So anyone from the members who are attending today is willing to challenge themselves and accept this role and coming forward to support the club and to lead with the team as a VP membership. Anyone? So are there any nomination from the floor for the post of Vice President membership? Quietness. So in that case, as a club and to have the meeting running on, so what we will do, we'll stop the nomination as here, but we will continue searching for members. We are encouraging all of you. As I said, this is a good opportunity. We are here to support you in your quest. You joined this club to improve your communication and leadership skills. So this is an opportunity. We are meeting it twice at time every month, and you will have a training. So please come forward to take this position. And by that, I think, let us again go back and just give a big round of applause for all the incoming executive committee who is going to take the role from 1st of July till 30th of June, with the hope that one from the members will come forward to take the position as a VP membership, which is still vacant. So again, the names Toastmaster, the president will be Toastmaster Ali Septain, VP Education Toastmaster Ru'ya Adil, VP Public Relations Toastmaster Omar Al-Mukhtar, Secretary Toastmaster Colin Lobo, Treasurer Toastmaster Muzahar, and Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi. Let us give them all a big round of applause and promise to support them in their journey in leading the club. Thank you all, and by that, I had the control back to Madam President.
Thank you, DTM Thuraya, for conducting that election and so well. Let us jump straight into today's meeting, but just before we do that, I do believe we have a couple of more guests that joined us. If I may please ask our guests to introduce themselves, I will be calling their names. Guest Rada, can you please introduce yourself?
Greetings, everyone. My name is Rada Shihabi. I'm from Bahrain. I'm a hotel management student, and I took a class with Miss Mariam Al-Haji about public speaking and self-image. And we spoke about Toastmaster before, and I thought now it's my time to start to improve my speaking skills, because next year I might have my internship overseas, and yeah, that's why I contacted her this morning, and she invited me to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Rada. That's really great to see you again. And our next guest, if you can introduce yourself, Ali.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ali Al-Mahari. I'm from Bahrain. I'm happy to be here with you today because I'm joining you because I thought I can enhance my communication and speaking skills. That's why I'm joining you today.
Thank you, Ali, for joining us. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I thought you
didn't listen. Okay, I
oh, no, we did. We heard you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ali, for joining us. And Toastmasters is one of the best platforms there are to improve your communications. I truly wish you all the best, you and Radha. Now let us jump into our meeting for the day and begin with introducing the person who will be leading us on today's journey, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rovan. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. So without further ado, may I please introduce the role players for today. But before I introduce the role players for today, very quickly on my take on these summer vibes. I know we're going through tough times right now, where we have a lockdown for a few weeks over here in Bahrain. But the interesting part about summer is the aspect of just going about not worrying about wearing cool sweaters or really a lot of clothes. It's more about enjoying yourself, going to the beach, having a swim. I know it's not possible now, but once things do get better in the next few weeks, we would be all doing that. So it brings back to me my summer memories, that are what I enjoyed the most, the family time, time as a kid, and more importantly, time now as well with the family, where we can enjoy picnics, swimming, ice cream. So all of these things are something that I always look to. Even though we have a lot of sultry days here in Bahrain, summertime for me is the most important. I love those evenings without the AC, just sleeping and sweating. That's one of my favorite things to do in summer. Anyway, without further ado, may I please introduce for today our grammarian, none other than Mahmoud Al-Mardi. Mahmoud Al-Mardi, the virtual floor is yours. But before you get started, Mahmoud, a quick question for you. What do you like best about summer?
Thank you so much. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. There are many things that resemble summer and things that I like, but mainly and particularly is swimming and fishing. As a kid, I really loved fishing, and I really liked getting up in the morning and catching fish and even selling it up to the market. And also at the same time, I would go and hit by the sea, hit my tan, and start the summer right. So these are some few stuff that I like to do in summer. Of course, there are many that I like to do, but these are just a few, just to mention in this meeting. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listening carefully to their language usage. And I'll take note of any misissues of the English language and any without any outstanding words, quotes, or sayings, or all thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. So for today's meeting, I decided to change it up a little bit and decided to bring up and introduce a word that will resemble summer and something that will describe summer in a way. So the word of today, for today's meeting, is sultry, and which means hot and humid. So if I'm going to say it in a sentence, how would it look like? For example, the sultry weather had brought swarms of insects, and each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day throughout all of their speeches. Therefore, I will look for a healthy and wonderful speech. Back to you.
Indeed, thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. We all do like fishing, although a different type of fishing now for me. Having said that, it is indeed a sultry day, but it is the positives that we look at as well during these sultry days in summer. And may I please introduce our next role player for today, our counter, and that's going to be headed none other than Rohan. Rohan, the virtual floor is yours.
Thank you very much for that, TM Robin. I am filled with gratitude for having the responsibility of being the counter for you all today. I'd like to welcome all the guests. Thank you very much for joining us for today's meeting. My role for today will be to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anybody that speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including the ahs, the ums, and, well, so, you know, etc. I will also listen for the filler sounds like the ums, the ers, etc. I will also note when a speaker repeats a phrase such as I or this means, and so on. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, and back to you, TM Rowan.
Thank you, TM Rohan. And may I please as well introduce our next role player for today, who is Suhail, who will be taking up the all-important timer role. But before I get started and move on, Suhail, do you prefer staying indoors or outdoors during the summer? What's your preference?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, for introducing me. Mostly out. I would like to go on beaches, spend time with my friends and families. I normally don't like to be indoor in any of the seasons. So this is how I am. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And if you
Well,
can present us, please, Suhail, with the timer role as well.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster of the greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the formal speeches, table topic speakers, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards or the screens, which I will demonstrate now, which denote specific times remaining. For speeches, should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green light. For 6 minutes, it will be yellow. And for 7, it will be red. For table topics, at 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. For individual evaluations, it should be 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. I will share my report once my name will be called. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suhail. And our next role player for today is our very own TM Colin Lobo. He will be the general evaluator. And maybe, Colin, just a quick question for you. What do you prefer, the beach or the park? Thank you, Toastmaster Rowan Lobo, for that question. And again, once again, a very good evening to you all. What do I prefer, the beach or the park? I prefer the park because growing up, I was very afraid of jellyfish. And to this day, I do not understand jellyfish. But with that said, the role of a general evaluator is the following. It is to evaluate everything that takes place during the meeting and to conduct the evaluation portion of the meeting, and is responsible for the speech evaluators, the counter, grammarian, and timer in terms of them presenting their reports. The role has the following steps: ensuring that other evaluators know their tasks and responsibility, explain the purpose and the benefits of evaluations to the group, and identify and confirm meeting assignments with the timer, the grammarian, and the counter, or the trinity of role players there. With that said, over to you, Toastmaster of the day and the captain of our ship, Toastmaster Rowan Lobo. Thank you, Toastmaster and General Evaluator for today. I'm sorry, you can all see that we are cost cutting over here and just using one laptop, but please do bear with us. And so next, we have a very strong lineup of speakers and evaluators for today. And it's the most exciting part where we get to test or we get to see our different speakers of Bahrain Elite Speakers Toastmasters. And so we start with our first speech or our first evaluator for today. And our first evaluator for today is Toastmaster Hamid. And if I may invite Toastmaster Hamid to please read out the goals of his speaker.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. As for my speaker, who's performing her project 3 of level 2 under the pathway visionary communication. The objectives of her speech with the title that is "Till Death Do Us Apart." That is for the members to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring and to share some aspect of a previous experience as a prodigy. So I wish my partner in crime all the best. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hamid. And may I please introduce our speaker for today, Toastmaster Rachel, who is in the wonderful company of a junior Toastmaster as well. So Toastmaster Rachel, before we start off with your speech, very quick, what are your favorite moments of summertime?
Buying fruits and sleeping. Because I can't bear the heat of Bahrain. It's too much for me. Yes.
Perfect.
Just a disclaimer, please ignore any and all distractions, be it audible or virtual.
Visible.
Visible, because I am not able to get rid of my son here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But we will pay attention to your speech.
Yes, thank you.
So, till death do us apart, Rachel Monas, till death do us apart.
One sultry morning, way back in 2017. So not really a long time ago, but with how time has passed in COVID, it can be considered as a really, really long back time. So one sultry morning, I came across someone who I never in my wildest dreams had envisioned to become a close friend of mine. It was none other than DTM Jani. He introduced me to the world of Toastmasters and was able to hook me into the world where I came with a preconceived notion that I don't require any mentoring, any guidance when it comes to public speaking, because voila, I considered myself a pro since childhood when it came to public speaking. But oh, how was I wrong? He showed me that Toastmasters was not just about coming into the arena for becoming a better public speaker, but also to further enhance your God-given capabilities and to ensure that you never slip up in your skills and continue to work towards bettering your public speaking skills. Till death do us part. I always thought that I will use that phrase only once in my life when I married my husband. But that phrase went from being a sultry vow of love to my husband to being a statement which I hold so close dear now in my Toastmaster journey, especially when it comes to mentoring. Mentoring, unlike coaching, is a lifelong relationship in most cases, especially when you hit it off with your mentor. In my case, I was the prodigy of best when I joined in. I mean, that's what they told me. I don't know if it was true or it was just to make sure that I stay a member in best forever. But yes, I started off as a prodigy under the able guidance of DTM, the youngest Toastmaster, DTM, Khurram. And I went from level to higher levels with his guidance. But unfortunately, due to time constraints and both of us leading hectic lives, I had to be dropped. And that was really soul crushing to me. Then I was passed on to Toastmaster Ali as my mentor. And because of the way our personalities are so much alike, I never gave him the due when it came to completing my projects. As you can see, I'm still at level 2 on pathway. So you can imagine what my level must have been when we were back using CC manual. So I troubled him a lot for a good 2 years before he decided that enough is enough, Gracious, now I will ditch you too, and we will push you to someone who will set you straight. I went, ha ha ha. All the best finding a mentor who will be able to get me out of my hibernation because I love sleeping and just procrastinating. And also during the time where I was at an all-time low when it came to self-confidence in all matters in life. And tada, my new mentor, to my shock, was none other than DTM Jani. And I went like, he's my friend. How is he going to get me to do anything? Forget signing up for projects. But what DTM Jani has is something so rare in mentors that it should be considered the ninth wonder of the world, if I may say so myself. He has spark, which is he's sensitive, he's patient, he's attentive to my needs, he is respectable, and he is so knowledgeable. He always ensured that he used this spark not just in a capacity of a friend who is also my mentor, but also someone who would gauge at what point in life I am personally to push me ahead when it came to my projects. Time and again, because of illnesses and so on and so forth, I would back out and have breakdowns and not have confidence to give my best shot. But with his special touch of spark, he always managed to get me out of the rut that I was in my mind and push me to greater heights with every project that I took up. What mattered to him was not whether I did manage to get the best speaker, but that whether I managed to connect to the audience and give my best and honest self out there each and every time. He managed to not just whoosh away all my worries, but also brought in cool breezes of friendship, knowledge, and so much confidence my way that I'll forever be grateful. Till death do us part. Hamid, sorry, but I shared this with my beloved brother, also my mentor, DTM Jani, because he not just taught me what Toastmaster is all about, but he showed it to me with his passion, grit, and support all these years that I've stuck with best. Time and again, every time I said, it's enough, I can't do Toastmasters anymore, somehow he would come up with some magical potion and he would brainwash me, literally brainwash me to ensure that I stuck to the Toastmaster circle and come back with a bang. In this episode, though, come back with a lot of sweat, but yes, it's a sultry day and I can't help it. He not just honed my capabilities as a speaker, but he is ever so patient with me not applying all the feedback that I get throughout my projects, which is move about, be fluid, be confident with your body, and don't be a rigid speaker, show enthusiasm even though it's virtual, and yeah, just like show enthusiasm and don't get distracted by all the living beings around you while giving a speech. He not just turned the outlook of mentoring for me, but he has taught me so much that when I go ahead and eventually become a mentor, God forbid, and God hoping that never happens to me, but when that happens to me, I hope to inculcate and portray the mentorship that he has shown me all these years. From being a hard taskmaster when I kept pushing away projects to being so supportive and loving when I would come up for a project, not with the best of energies, but still always would give me a pat on the back. Mentoring for everyone is about networking and getting like the ulterior motive of becoming a better speaker. But for me, Toastmaster, DTM Jani, sorry, I keep forgetting that, like it's such a long name, but yeah, DTM Jani taught me that mentoring is not just about what you're gaining, but it's truly about the lifelong relationship that you build with your mentee. And it surpasses even the boundaries of Toastmasters to add value to your life in such a way where you carry it forward throughout your life, through all the phases of your life, from my dull, gloomy, depressed phase to my hyper energetic working boss lady phase, to also the very pregnant me phase, to the phase where I was struggling with a baby and now a toddler. He ensured that my Toastmaster journey would stay with me through all the stages and gave me the support that was required to uh, keep up with this commitment and not go away from it. You know, a lot of people I had heard in the past would leave the club or just the Toastmaster circle in general once they're married or they're engaged or move on to other stages in life, and rightly so. But it takes a village to build a person, and I found that entire village in my one mentor, that's DTM Jani. And on this sultry day, all I can recall are all the summer evenings that I ate away at his brain and his patience and how he stuck by it through all the fights and arguments. And there were quite a few, by the way. It's not so easy being friends with a sultry friend like me, but he was able to manage that with flying colors, and to be able to mentor me through all my different phases, through all my moods, ups and downs, and to stick by me, not just when it came to public speaking, but also to help me soar higher and higher through all my career changes. And I have had, like, I think 4 careers by now. Yes, 4 careers. And he was a part of each career graph of mine. My evaluator is telling me to check time, but I don't see the, just a second. Oh yes, it's red. Okay. Thank you everyone. I forgot to pin the timer, and I'll be ending my speech now. So thank you very much. Salute to Sparky mentors like DTM Jan. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, TM. Great show. That was really insightful and good speech with a lot of truth in it. And one of the important things you taught us in the end, that pinning a timer is still one of the most important things we have to do when we start our speech. Having said that, without further ado, may I please move on to our next evaluator for today, which is Mahmoud. So Mahmoud, can you please speak about the goals of your speak of today?
Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the evaluate, I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Fatma Al-Kaabi, and with the speech titled Coaching and versus Mentoring. The purpose of the speech is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring, and as well as the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a project. Without further that, I wish my member all the best with her speech.
Thank you, TM Mahmoud. And for our speaker for today is Toastmaster Fatima. Sorry, let me just pull out with the speech title, Coaching versus Mentoring. TM Fatima Kaabi. TM Fatima Kaabi, Coaching versus Mentoring.
Thank you, but can I check if I'm audible? Can someone
Yes, you are.
confirm?
A bit low. Yes, you are. Yeah.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. Have you ever been in a situation when you thought that you got everything figured out? A few minutes later, it turned out that you got nothing figured out at all. Personally, I have been in this situation for so many times. One of these times was back in 2018, when I was offered a coaching session as part of fresh graduate program with CFA site in Bahrain. I was told that that session would be about my career journey. All I had in my mind was that coaching session would be something similar to what I usually have with my mentors here at Toastmasters. A simple and lovely chat about how can I improve myself. So at the day of the meeting of the coaching session, I just got myself ready. I drove to the place, nothing was in my mind, no specific goals, no deadlines. I went into the coaching room, greeted the coach, was a very lovely lady, talked a little bit about the weather. It was really sultry that day. And then the coaching session started. When the coach started asking me specific questions. For example, where are you currently in your professional journey? What's your professional goal for the year? And where you would like to be in 5 years from now? The only reaction she got from me are my eyes are getting wider and wider. I was completely shocked. I was not prepared with answers for such questions. I was just there to get to know how I can start my journey. I tried my best to come up with answers to wrap up the session as fast as possible. Once the session ended, I left the room with one important lesson, which is coaching is not mentoring. Ladies and gentlemen, coaches and mentors are often mistaken for one another because these two practices share a lot in common. However, they're quite different. Mentors can be coaches, but coaches cannot be mentors. Coaches are professional people who are there to help their proteges or their mentees to reach their full potential, either on personal level or professional level, through creative processes. There was a lot of board games and cards on the table that day. Coaches' responsibility is to ensure that their proteges reach their short-term goals. So coaching sessions are very fruitful if you have a specific goal, a skill-based goal, such as delegation or even business budgeting. However, mentoring is something else, as mentors are people who are there to empower and support their mentees when they accept the responsibility of personal development on the long term. According to Toastmasters website, a mentor is someone who's knowledgeable and experienced, someone who carry a positive and supportive personality, someone who's respectful and calm, and finally, someone who's dependable. And these words, these characteristics are rephrased in the oath that we usually repeat as a new mentors or even as club members when we welcome a new guest to the club. Mentorship in Toastmaster is the best part of it all for me personally. When my mentor and I get closer to each other, we see how different people perceive things from different perspectives. We share new ideas, we listen to interesting personal stories that we can include in our project. However, mentorship in Toastmasters doesn't end in this stage. It continues and extended into the audience in the actual meeting. When the audience are asked to write feedbacks and comment to the speakers. These comments and feedback I still keep with me personally, and I still learn from them till today. Dear friends, mentorship is a very valuable thing in life. We all need someone who believes that we can do better than what we actually know we can. There's a lot of times when we need someone to teach us how to think and not what to think. From this stage, I'd like to thank all the mentors I had during my short time here at Fest. Thank you so much for the support, the empowerment, and for helping me to be a better person I am. With that, back to you, Master Sadness.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fatima, for that speech. A very apt speech title, especially since after the speech of Rachel, where she spoke about her mentor. And here we are doing a comparison of mentor versus coaching. May I call upon, please, our third evaluator for today, Umar Mukhtar, to please introduce his speaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Today, my speaker, Toastmaster Abdurrahman, is presenting his his third project from effective coaching. The objective of his speech is the purpose of this project is to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech for the members to share some aspect of a previous experience. The speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. With this, best of luck to Toastmaster Abdurrahman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. And without further ado, may I please call upon our speaker for today, Abdurrahman, there I see you. 4 eyes for our speaker, Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman, 4 eyes.
Can I ask, is my sound clear for you? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you, but I pass it on to Umar because you'll be evaluating as well. Umar, can you hear Abdul Rahman clearly?
It's not that clear, but can you speak a little?
Hello, can you hear me now clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you now clearly.
Okay.
Okay.
On last trip to Turkey before Corona, especially to Bursa, we chose to stay on a camp near to the mountain to see the beautiful nature. And one day, my friend Abdullah, he told me, Abdurrahman, should we go and walk through the forest? I tell him, yeah, we can walk through the forest. When we are walking, suddenly we see a big wolf. Dear Toastmaster and guests, hi everybody. Can you imagine with wrong decision we could lose our lives? In my life, I was very shy, and most of that, I will not share my opinion, decision, ideas with others. I always take my decision alone. In Corona and pandemic periods, me and a lot of people, they enter the cryptocurrency market. We bought different cryptocurrency with different amounts. I follow most of people that they are talking about the cryptocurrency. Open the Telegram application. Even I saw some people talking a cryptocurrency in TikTok. Can you imagine? We enter, we buy, and even we deposit every 2 weeks. After Elon Musk tweet about the cryptocurrency, and for anybody, he don't know that Elon Musk, he is CEO of Tesla, and he was a big fan of cryptocurrency. After he tweet about the cryptocurrencies, the market just fell. And when the China, they prevent the mining of the cryptocurrency, the market also fell again. At that time, I think my heart also fell with wrong decision, without any mentors. I couldn't know when I buy and when I sell. I buy at the high price, and when I am sell it at low price. I don't know if I can stay in the market or I should run and go out. I don't know when will be the peak of the Bitcoin and how much it will be. Me and most of the people, they are thinking when we will be rich, and we think it is like in one day and one night we can buy our dream car, same as YouTube channel and YouTube video. Also, my friend, he opened a restaurant in Adliya block, and without a mentor, without any decision of others, he made a lot of mistakes. That mistakes, he lose his money, opportunity, and time. Dear Toastmaster and guests, mentor can believe in you. Mentor can trust in you. Mentor can force you to be better because you deserve the better. We should choose our mentor carefully because they can help us and they can improve us. We all do mistakes and we all learn from the life. But with mentors, we can prevent something. I want to thank all my mentors and Best Club, Toastmaster Kamal, Toastmaster Mariam Haji, Toastmaster Jahangir. They developed me and forced me to be better. And even this is the Toastmaster program that it will help you to be better. And as you know, we have 3 mentors in our life. Mentor by default, this is our parents and our brothers. And mentors, that it is by force, like our managers, teachers, and people that we will not choose them. And the most important thing, the mentor that we can choose. So try to choose your mentor in different categories. One mentor for you for business category, one mentor that he can help you in family category, and one mentor that can help you in career category. The most important thing, and I think it will be better, is when your friend will become your mentor. So you can share with him all what you can see, all what you can think, and before you talk. And just remember, 4 eyes better than 2 eyes, and they can see things in different positions. Up to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, for that wonderful speech of being careful and taking guidance before we get into any of our investments as well. May I please call upon the virtual floor, Jahangir Khan, as evaluated today, to present his speaker. Before you start, Jahangir, maybe a quick question for you since we're talking about summer. Do you party a lot during summer?
Used to. It's been a while due to the COVID we are not having. Yes, we should. We should celebrate all the weathers. Yeah. But in summer, in specific, yes, we do. Thank you, Robert.
Jahangir.
Okay, before I read out the objectives, I would request our master of the ceremonies, right after all the speeches, if you can give 1 minute or maximum 2 minutes before we go for the break, to write notes for all the speakers we had, so everyone can write their notes.
Sure.
For the speakers. Well, our speaker number 4 for today is Toastmaster Mariam Haji. She's presenting level 1, project 2, second speech. Her speech objectives are as follows. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback and apply the feedback for a second speech. So this is her second speech. Whatever feedback she did receive in her previous speech, she has to make sure that she overcome those feedback suggestions and implement them in today's speech. And the speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish Toastmaster Mariam Haji all the very best, and back to you, Master of the Ceremonies.
Thank you, Jahangir. Toastmaster Jahangir. And may I please call upon the virtual floor, our speaker for today, TM Mariam Haji. But before we go and start into your speech, Mariam, what about you? Do you party a lot as well in summer? Or is that something distant past?
It depends on your definition of partying, but yes. Yes, I do. I love summer. I'm a summer person and I look forward to it. And I love to go to pools and beaches and have all the fun.
Stop working hard. Toastmaster Mariam Haji. Toastmaster Mariam Haji. Stop working hard.
What is the one component of success that almost everybody agrees on? Working hard, putting in the effort, going the extra mile, working at it and giving 110%. There are so many phrases, all dedicated to one thing: working hard in order to succeed. Well, I am here today playing devil's advocate, and I say no. Stop working hard. And I will prove to you by the end of the speech and convince all of you that you need to stop working hard. Toastmaster of the day and my fellow friends, what is it you desire? I'm pretty sure that almost everyone desires achieving things. We all have goals, we all have dreams, things that we wish we could accomplish. But the one thing that we can all agree on is that we don't always have the time or the energy to put in all that effort that is expected of us to achieve all those amazing things. The good news is we don't really need to put in that much effort. Of an employee that joined the company where I work. Now, I work at a startup and we were working for around 7-8 months without an accountant. I know anyone who is in the business world is going like, oh, no accountant. But yes, we worked for that long without an accountant until the company finally decided, you know what, we need an accountant to join in. And they brought in a girl, let's call her Anna. So Anna joined the company and poor Anna has to go through a big pile of mess that is receipts and paperwork from like 7-8 months and sort through all of them and start the correct accounting process for the company. Now, Anna was very enthusiastic. She was very happy to come in and do her part and help, and she was a hard worker. Anna would work literally all day. So she'd come into work and work continuously up until the time she leaves, and only takes literally a 4-minute break to go pray, to the toilet, come back, continue working. She would take her laptop and her papers and everything with her home, and she would work at home as well until she would go to sleep. Anna was one of the most hardworking people I have ever met in my whole life. 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, a month, 2 months, 3 months. Anna is consistently working really hard, except there are so many things that are not getting done. She's not providing an income statement. She's not doing any profit comparisons. She's not doing any budgeting. There are so many basics that she is not completing. But because she's working hard, and because, let's admit it, it's a startup and we're all too busy to notice, nobody noticed that there's so much that she isn't doing. We were just noticing that, okay, she's a hard worker. Just a couple of months ago, Anna was let go and fired from her job. The hardest worker I have ever seen in my life. And everybody here knows how much I skip these meetings because I'm a hard worker, but she was 10 times the worker that I am. So much effort, and yet she was fired. Why? Because all of that effort that she was putting in was not directed the right way. Yes, she was consistently working, but she was refusing to use technology and systems that would help her work be easier, smoother, and just all around better. So she was doing everything on Excel sheets, by hand, manually, for months, working super hard, but with very little results and yield. She was not successful, even though she was working really hard. And that's because she was working hard, but not working smart. And that is the difference. Remember that old story when we were growing up that they used to tell us of the
Is it only me or did she just go off?
No, she is off. She's off.
Same here, I cannot hear.
He is off.
Yep, same.
She's back.
I'm back. Okay. Can anyone tell me where it cut off?
Begin with the old story.
Yeah,
Okay.
rabbit.
Thank you. Okay. This old story that we used to hear when we were growing up, the story of the rabbit and the turtle. So they would go on a race and the rabbit would just kind of run off. And then the story was supposed to teach us that keeping at it, working really hard like the turtle, slow and steady wins the race. Well, that's not the message I get from that story. Because to be honest, if the rabbit But in other scenarios, if the turtle was in a race with like a snail, okay, then the turtle can take breaks. The turtle can sleep. The turtle can go on a different trip and then come back and still manage to win the race. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you are working really hard, running as fast as you possibly can, putting in all of the effort, killing yourself, running and working hard, if you're running on a treadmill, you're not getting anywhere. All you will get is knee pain because you're running on a treadmill. It's not about the hard work. It's about working in the right environment. It's about working smart. If you're running in a marathon, the person that wins the marathon isn't the person that runs the fastest or puts in the most effort and is killing themselves. It's the person who can measure their own abilities and decide when to run real fast, when to slow down, when to drink water, when to keep running. And all of that information, choosing smartly, being intelligent with your energy, with your time, with your effort, that decides if you will be successful or not. Don't listen to people that tell you work hard, go the extra mile. If you don't need to go the extra mile, don't. Sit back and look at things from a smart perspective. If people in the olden days when they were all on bikes wanted to go faster, so they just put in more effort.
Somebody should really take a picture of how she looks like right now when she's stuck.
I hate my internet. Okay. So in conclusion, I encourage all of you to, instead of working hard and putting in so much effort, to take that effort, reserve some of it, and work smart instead. Don't work hard, work faster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam, for that wonderful speech on how we should view life and hard work. Before we slip into our 5-minute break, may I ask everyone to maybe take a 1-minute break and provide your comments to different speakers as well. And then we could also move into a 5-minute stretch relaxation break before we come back. Okay, I think we can slip into a 5-minute break, if I'm permitted, Mr. Timer, as well, to move into a 5-minute break, and we can time it as well to make sure we are back on time. But please do come back. We have a star lineup post break as well with our very own Kamal Al-Shihabi taking us through the table topic session and finishing it off with our general evaluator as well. So look forward to seeing everyone back after the break. Thank you.
So we will resume at 6:29.
6:28 as per my clock.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. He never goes wrong.
Timer will let us know. Thanks.
Yes. Hello, Toastmaster of the day. The break time is over.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Thank you for that. And so may I please call upon our table topic master for today, Kamal Al-Shihabi, Toastmaster Kamal Al-Shihabi. Toastmaster Kamal, are you there?
Yes, yes, I am here, but I cannot start the video. I don't know why. Unable to access camera, allow Zoom to access. Yes, I am using iPhone for the first time, so I don't know how to open the camera. Anyways, I am here.
We can hear you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kamal. And maybe before we start off with your segment for today, what would be an ideal summer vacation spot for you?
Ideal summer vacation is to travel to any country which is cold, not pure hell like the weather that we have here.
Okay, you're a complete opposite of me. So you like cold and I like the hot. But anyway, without further ado, Kamal, please go ahead with the table topics. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I apologize again for not opening the video because the iPhone seems does not allow. I have to go to the settings. Anyways, for the benefit of the guest, our table topics is to improve our speaking skill while without even giving us a chance with me, which means forming a speech on the spot. So I am going to ask a question or give you a situation where you wouldn't have time to think and you have to form a speech which consists of opening, body, and ending. It doesn't matter if your answer is right or wrong. Actually, nobody cares. What matters is to improve your speaking skills. Okay, so now I think I have 3 table topics according to the time. So who want to participate? If no one will, I'm going to choose on my own. So anybody would like to come to the floor and participate to our lovely table topic of today?
I would like to participate.
Yes, yes, thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. All right, let's go for our first situation. Now imagine that you are in 2030 and you have to describe to the kids what it's like in the summer of 2020. I will repeat again. Imagine that you are in the year 2030 and you have to describe to the kids what it was like in the summer of 2020. Toastmaster Mahmoud.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. As Toastmaster Kamal said, what in the year 2020, what would I describe COVID? First of all, I would sit them in a seating, and sit them down and let them write notes. And this is how it would start. Kids, listen up. I would start it off as let's say a Rapunzel story, talking about 2 people, how it went so well till a catastrophe hit, where destruction hit the world. So I'll start it off where everything was all smooth and well until one day the world went to panic mode, where people started spreading a virus. Think of it as the plague virus. Of course, I don't think they would know what the plague virus is, as I have to explain to them in a different class. But I always go and break it down and always treat it as if it was a story, a fantasy story. And always break it down and explain what happened at the beginning and how it escalated from the beginning stage to the ending stage, which I hopefully is going to be very, very near. Over and that, I have no other way to say it. So back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mahmoud. All right, so let's go for the another table topics. Who would like to participate? Even if our guest, we will give you a very simple question if you would like to participate. Anybody before I choose? Going once, twice, thrice. Okay, let me choose from the people who didn't have a role today. Who didn't have a role today? Who didn't speak? Somebody could help me here a little bit. Let me see the name. Roya. Did Roya participate today or no? All right, let's ask Roya. Roya, are you there? All right, it seems she's not there. Let's ask another person. Let's see, Khoram. Khoram, do you have a role today or?
Nope, we're ready to
All
speak.
right, then okay, good. Then let's choose Khoram. All right, we will put you in a very hard situation now. Imagine that you are in summer and you are kayaking with your loved ones in the middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden you have noticed a very great white shark is lurking around your small kayak boat. Do I have to repeat or did you get
No,
the
got it.
situation?
I was waiting for more. That's it?
Yes, the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Sultry summer heat. And what's the best way to beat that heat than to go out to the beach, to the ocean, to the nature's water where the temperature is always cool? And that is exactly what happened the summer of 2050. When I was there kayaking with my loved ones right down in the ocean, when I saw a shark coming towards me and approaching me. But the good thing is, I had listened to Miriam's speech today, and I knew that I had to be smart. I had to work smart and not hard. So what I did, I came prepared for any situation that will be as such, be anything at all. So I had in my bag a meat gun. Now, for those of you who do not know, a meat gun is an invention which was invented by Toastmaster Kamal, who, by the way, if you don't know, is an inventor certified by the ministry. And this would throw chunks of meat far away from you so that any imminent threat that you have surrounding you can be averted. That was either you're in the jungle and a lion approaches you, or you're in the ocean like I am and a shark approaches you. So that is exactly what I did. Thank you to Toastmaster Miriam and Toastmaster Kamal for their invention and for making me think smart and not just working hard. I had a meat gun and I was able to avoid the situation, which is why I'm right over here. Back to you, Toastmaster Kamal.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Haram. All right, now we are going to our third, and I think is the final table topic. It will be very easy, so if anybody would like to participate, it's just an easy question, even if we have guests here. So yes, anybody would like to participate? Going once, going twice, going thrice. Okay, let me choose. Who didn't have a role today?
I will.
Okay, Roya, yes, very easy question. Thank you very much. All right, now imagine I give you one open ticket to travel anywhere in the world this summer. So where would you go and why?
For me,
the floor is
it would be any ticket will take me to a race to do it, since I'm training so hard, and with the lockdown, no races in the region or no races in my location. So a one-way ticket, I'll take it to Turkey. It's going to be after 2 months. There will be a race, which is Ironman Turkey, half Ironman, which is, as you know, 2K swimming, 90K bike, and followed by with half marathon running. So the one-way ticket will take me to Turkey to do the race because I'm really bored and that's my enjoyment there. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Roya. This is it. Thank you very much for participating in the table topics. And I wish you really all the best. And back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Pastor Kamal, for that entertaining and very useful table topic session for today. If I may move on now to our next session for today, which would be the evaluation session, and I call upon the virtual screen, our GE for today, our general evaluator, Colin Lobo. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all, and welcome to the meeting once again. As a general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the session, but however, we will first get in the timing of the different speakers by our very own Suhail Sheikh, an important timer. The virtual floor is yours. Sorry.
General evaluator, TM Gretchen took 10 minutes 23 seconds. TM Fatima took 5 minutes 48 seconds. TM Abdul Rahman took 5 minutes 53 seconds. And TM Mariam Haji took 6.50 seconds. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suhail, for that timer's report. And just a question, did all these speakers qualify, or were there any disqualifications for the same?
As per the timing, I believe TM Gerechel took 10.23 seconds. So I believe she is disqualified because of the timing.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Suhail. Now we will proceed with the evaluators session. May I call to stage Toastmaster Hamid to evaluate Toastmaster Rachel.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and their guests. Good evening. Now, as I understand, Rachel may have been disqualified due to her time limit being exceeded, but I would still congratulate her as she has fulfilled her the purpose of the speech. So congratulations on that. Now, my speaker surely did take on the stage with a bang, using all the vocabularies and using the word of the day on different occasions. The thing with the speech where it caught our attention as it went through a bit of a roller coaster of explaining how she has gone through being a prodigy to understanding her relationship with the mentor, which is DTM Johnny, is such that being a speaker does not only mean going on stage and giving.
Toastmaster Hamid, you are muted. If you could unmute yourself, please.
Apologies on that. I'm not sure where did it go mute. So
just a few seconds back, just a few seconds, just 5 seconds.
All right. So I think I'll start once again. I'm so sorry, Toastmaster Suhail, if you can reset the timer, if that would be okay, General Evaluator.
I think that should be all right, Toastmaster Jahangir. I think if you give in that nod, I will go ahead. Jahangir.
All right.
All right, perfect. Yeah. All right. So Suhail, we can restart the timer, and Toastmaster Hamid can restart his evaluation.
Noted.
Thank you very much once again, General Evaluator, timer, guests, and fellow Toastmasters. A very good evening once again. Now, I do understand that my speaker for the day, which is my partner in crime, has exceeded her time limit, but I would still congratulate her as she has met the objectives of her speech. Now, I do understand that her speech title explains in itself the roller coaster that she had experienced so far as joining a Toastmaster where everyone members thought or understood that she would be a prodigy. However, basis her relationship with DTM Johnny, that as a mentor is not only to explain to the Toastmaster Rachel, that it does not mean just going on stage, giving your speech, and that's the end of it. She's had her ups and downs where she explained, and as we understood the relationship between the speaker and the mentor, Toastmaster Johnny, was more of a bond till death do them apart. Now, she's used all the vocabularies, plus she has used the word of the day set on several occasions and explained each. So I commend that. I would only recommend, in my opinion, where you would use the same spark that Toastmaster Johnny would have worked his magic on getting you on stage, where I feel a little bit of more preparation to open the speech, to give the body, and to give the conclusion in a better or summarized manner. A little bit more preparation when it comes to the flow. You did very well, but just a bit of pauses or filler words. I'm sure you will be able to do that, as we understood that you had some time off. And I think where you should be listening to your mentor more often when it came to the reviews or to the suggestions given by fellow Toastmasters and the mentor especially. With that, I congratulate you once again, and I wish for you all the best with your future projects. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hamid, for giving a very good evaluation and a very difficult task in evaluating your own wife's speech. So well done to you. Now, I also want to add in one more important aspect here, is that Toastmaster Rachel's speech, it reminded me of the network effect in terms of Elizabeth Arden said, I only want people around me who can do the impossible. And Jahangir gets people around him to do the impossible. So that's very good. And we inspire each other to do the impossible. And that's a benefit of Toastmasters as well. Now, with that said, let us get in the next evaluator for the session, which is Toastmaster Mahmoud, our new member, to give in the evaluation for Toastmaster Fatima. Toastmaster Mahmoud, the virtual floor is yours.
Am I audible?
You are audible, but a little faint. So if you could speak a little more loudly as well.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. We can hear you. We can hear you, Mahmoud.
Shall I start? This history of the making. One of the most refined speeches we've ever listened to. Toastmaster Fatma Al-Ka'bi with one of the more highly anticipated speeches we have ever listened to. A prodigy in the making. The potential of this woman to exceed and become one of the best Toastmasters at this club. To go on to several levels and to show her true worth. Toastmaster Fatma Al-Ka'bi further and explained met all of the objectives of the speech. She clearly stated the objectives of the speech, used several hand gestures, and explained her speech in a well-refined way. As an evaluator who is up and coming, I would like to highlight a few things to take your speech and you to become, in the near future, a DTM and also possibly a world champion. One of the corrections that I would say is the change of voice. I realized is when you started speaking, there wasn't any change of voice. For example, when you stated off and said, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever thought? Instead of saying it in a normal tone, saying it in a tone that would inspire and get us out of our seats. Such as, fellow Toastmasters, have you ever thought? And then then state your object or thing that you want to talk about. I've also realized, and with your speech, is that there wasn't the voice, your voice was cutting off. So it was quite hard to understand what you were saying. That would led the audience to think and assume what you would say. Instead of that, if we had a better connection between the audience and you, it will make our connection with you a smoother and well-refined speech and meeting. Overall, I would like to congratulate you, Toastmaster Fatima, for completing this level, and I would truly look forward for your up and coming speeches and see you excel and become one of the GOATs of Toastmasters Fest. Overall, back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Your energy is always very contagious, even in this sultry weather. So, with that said, I just wanted to mention Toastmaster Fatima reminds me of that quote that our work is the presentation of our capabilities, and she keeps improving every time. Small adjustments, but she keeps improving, and it's always an inspiration and always someone to learn from. So well done, Fatima. With that said, the next evaluator we have today had a very cool background when we started. He's since changed that. Toastmaster Umar, who is evaluating Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. The virtual floor is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 4 eyes is better than 2. And today I got to know that really, if you are wearing 2 eyes and if you are having 2 eyes with you, it do make a change. Once in my lifetime, I have been in a situation when I was in the starting of Toastmasters and I was looking for a mentor that can improve my level of speaking and the confidence I have right now in this stage of life because of my mentors. Today, my speaker, in particular, Toastmaster Abdurrahman, delivered his speech regarding how mentors can change our life. The way he started from the up, from the objectives, it says how mentors can improve you in Toastmasters. The way he put his stories, how nowadays the so-called Bitcoin is going on in the world and everyone is calling about Bitcoins. Very well put in his story that how it affects him because he wasn't having any mentor to ment him about how he can take steps, how his friend has opened the restaurant and was not having a mentor affected him. Bringing up the stories of himself and putting them together with the Toastmaster is one of the best criteria to give up his speech and to get the attention of all the members. I don't know about others, but when it comes to me, I got all the information what was given by him. The excellent thing was he put it everything in the light of Toastmasters. He may work on a little things, which is he could have elaborated his story on Toastmaster mentors else than his life mentors, how they change his life in the background of Toastmasters. The best thing about my speaker was today, which I liked, the way he used his stage movement, the way he used his screen from one point to another. I would like to suggest him only one thing. Hand movement without any purpose can distract people, and voice clarification is necessary when it comes to a proper speeches. With this, back to your general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Umar, for that wonderful evaluation. I agree with the points you've raised as well as in terms of the suggestion. Well done. And Toastmaster Abdul Rahman presented a very good speech. Reminds me again of that quote of Margaret Fuller, which says, if you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it. If you have knowledge, let others light their candles in it. Something which mentors do, something which coaches do as well. Just make sure you get the right light at the right time. Now, with that said, the next evaluator for today's session is none other than the person who lights the candles in most of us here, along with his other co-founder, DTM Kurum Salman. DTM Jahangir Khan, please step forward. The virtual floor is yours to evaluate Toastmaster Mariam Haji. The virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, respected guests, and our speaker, Toastmaster Mariam Haji in particular. Good evening to one and all. They say effort is important, but where you are putting your efforts and how you are putting your efforts is way more important than how. Now today, Toastmaster Mariam Haji came up with a very interesting topic. I'm pretty sure many of us were struck to the topic itself, that what exactly she will be speaking to us. Stop working hard. That's one statement which we are told most of the time, starting from our childhood days, by our parents, by our teachers, by our managers. Everyone keeps telling us, work hard to achieve your goals, to achieve your targets. So she came up with this statement as her title, and she grabbed our attention in the very beginning itself. Then she started with a question stating something which we all know, that working hard is the best formula for success, which we have been taught over and over again. And she asked us, do we all believe in that? We all knew that we don't believe. I'm pretty sure the faces were telling that we all know that that's not the only formula for success. She was very confident as always. She was very energetic as always. Mariam presents her speech with all what she has. She used her body language very professionally. It was fitting the requirements of the speech. Her facial expressions were excellent. Humor was there today, and it was on point. For example, when she was asking us a question, she used the platform of virtual platform very well when she said, what is that you desire? She came forward and asked us the question. She had a very interesting story which she shared with us about her friend, her colleague, her ex-colleague Anna, and I'm pretty sure all of us do have some people like that, and that story connected with her message, that what she wanted to tell us, that it's not like working hard is the only formula to success. In between with the story, with the help of the story, she moved us to the direction in which she wanted to convey us the message that how we need to accept the change. And if we don't accept the change, how it leads us to a disaster. With her story of Anna, how hard worker she was, and then how she was not able to adopt the change, and she ended up losing her job, she proved to us the statement which she really wanted to convey the message to all of us, and that was that we need to work smart, not hard. Again, she had the story of the turtle. All the stories did connect with the message. Now, one suggestion to Toastmaster Mariam Haji is that please, this is a virtual platform, and I know that it can happen to anyone. It can happen to me right now as well. So in case you are a presenter, in case you are a speaker, make sure that you are having two devices connected. So in order to avoid any disruption, we were all loving your speech, and in between those hiccups were making us disconnect with your speech. So for the future, as she is one of the speakers and trainers, please make sure that you have a backup device ready whenever you're presenting. Overall, excellent speech. Love the message. Beautiful story. Connected with all of us. I wish you all the very best. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Jahangir Khan, for that wonderful evaluation of Toastmaster Mariam's speech. When Mariam began her speech today, I've got to say, honestly, I was very interested in what she had to say in terms of the importance of working smart. And at the end, change is the end result of all true learning. With that said, in relation to Toastmaster Mariam's speech, it was very insightful, her story and what she had to communicate. So well done on that, Toastmaster Mariam. With that said, may we have the other officers' reports, starting with the grammarian's report.
Am I audible? Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. As a grammarian, it is my role to specify and mark the amount of usage of the word of the day, which is sultry. Overall, we haven't had a lot of people use the word, unfortunately. In total, we had around about only 3 people using it. In total, only 3 people using the word sultry. So I highly advise, even after the meeting, to use that word. Therefore, it can further enhance your English speaking languages. Overall, what I've realized is for all of the speeches, they're well reformed, well spoken. However, I just wanted to clarify on a few things, such as I realized some speakers had a misconception in the terms of use of language, such as I tell him instead of I told him. I take my decisions alone. How would I would rephrase it? I'll keep my thoughts and decisions to myself, as well as when the China is when China, because it's in different article. Same like YouTube channel, I would say to purchase the luxury of life. And they developed me instead of they developed my, and then you would follow up with the article. I realized there's I realized speakers use a well-refined note, such as being a speaker isn't necessary to go on stage, which was marked by Toastmaster Hamid Jum'a, which hats off to you, as well as you do not make a change, which was used by Umar Makhtar. One of the also things that I also really admired is that, which is well done by Toastmaster Abdurrahman Janahi, is when he spoke in the beginning of his speech, when he mentioned 4 eyes is better than 2 eyes because they see several positions, as well as Toastmaster Mariam Haji, when she mentioned in her speech she was working hard and not working smart, because that really hit the audience and really let them think very deeply. And finally, when also Toastmaster Khurram Salman used used a couple of words and phrases from Toastmaster Mariam Haji's speech in his table topic, which was well refined and well presented. Furthermore, I hand it back to you, Toastmaster Robin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud, for that wonderful report as well. And as raised by DTM Jahangir, we will take a group photo prior to the next officer's report. So if we can all switch on our videos, and we can all comb our hair, and we can all stand in some good lighting as well, and have our hats on if we have our hats with us. Good. Hold on, let me call my brother as well. Okay. All right. So we have everyone. We have an evaluator and speaker in one space as well, so that's good to see. And we have everyone in. So the logical question is, who's taking the photo? Like, perfect.
Umar,
Sure.
Umar, can you switch your camera, Umar? And I think Abdurrahman is joining. If we can just wait for a few seconds for Abdurrahman.
Sure.
And Umar, if you can hear me, can you switch please your camera?
I think Abdurrahman has been joining for a while, so I think there's a connection problem.
Okay. Then in that case, big smile, please. And you can do any summer movement. You can imagine that you are jumping in a swimming pool. Let me, and I think I took enough photos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. General Evaluator, with your permission, if we can also have the voting, so it will save time for me to prepare the results. And then you
Definitely,
can
DTM.
continue with the report.
Definitely, DTM Jahangir Khan. Thank you, DTM Dr. Firaya Juma, for that photo session. If we can please have the votes done as well. And may I request those who aren't speaking to mute themselves, as there's a call.
So Johnny, are you launching the polls or you want me to do that?
Ding dong. Look at it, guys. Jangi, are you there?
He's launched a poll. Yes.
Okay.
Poll is launched? Because I can't see it.
Yes, it is. DTM.
So can everyone see the poll? Okay. Now.
Recording in progress.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll proceed with the other officers' reports. We have the timer of today, Toastmaster Sohail, to give in the timer's report for the individual evaluators and the table topic speakers. Toastmaster Sohail, virtual floor is yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. For table topics, TM Mahmood take 1 minute 17 seconds. TM Roya took 1 minute 32 seconds. TM, who was? I'm sorry, I wrote to Roya twice, so who was the second one? TM Mahmood, TM Roya, and.
That would be me.
Sorry. Yes. Kuram took. Sorry, there's a change. So TM Mahmood took 1 minute 17 seconds. TM Kuram took 1 minute 32 seconds, and TM Roya took 54 seconds. For individual evaluation, TM Hamid took 2 minutes 40 seconds. TM Mahmood took 2 minutes 29 seconds. TM Umar took 3 minutes 11 seconds. And DTM Jahangir took 3 minutes 40 seconds. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sohail, for that very detailed timers report as well. And proceeding in to the next important role players report, it will be the R counter by Toastmaster Rohan Jose. The virtual floor is yours, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you very much for that, TM Colin. Let me dive right into the report without taking any more time. Starting off with TM Jahangir, he had no R's and Ums and just one instance of repeating himself. Moving on to TM Mariam, she had 4 R's, 3 fillers. DTM Thureya with 7 R's and 3 filler words. TM Colin with 12 R's and 1 filler and 3 cases of repeating himself. TM Rowan with 3 R's, 2 fillers and 2 repeats. TM Mahmood with 5 R's and 9 repeats. TM Sohail with 6 R's and TM Hamid with 37 R's and 3 filler words. TM Rachel with 17 R's and 3 fillers. TM Fatima with 1 R. TM Umar with 1 R. TM Abdurrahman with 2 R's. And with that, I think the R counter report has come to an end. Thank you, TM Colin. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan, for that very detailed and very good attention to detail towards your whole reports. Always humbling to see that the A's keep flowing, and always an area of improvement for all of us here today. So with that said, with the role players reports done, the evaluations done, comes to the final part, which is the general evaluation session or the general evaluators report. Now, there is a temptation when we are in Summer Vibes and when we are part of the club to sugarcoat our suggestions or sugarcoat the how the club did, which is a personal bias I would have here today. But with that said, I can be completely honest in terms of the way the club started the meeting. The meeting started on time. The guests were welcomed upon arrival, and the presiding officers were all prepared and organized, and everyone was properly introduced. Now, let's start with the president as well. Her president's address was well received. She spoke about summer's vibes, and she came in prepared with a hat as well. So good setup there. Now, the vice president of membership, myself, also mentioned that the membership induction ceremony wasn't to take place. That should be fine. And the club officers' term elections as well was conducted very smoothly, very professionally. So kudos to the nomination committee for doing so very professionally. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rowan Lobo, conducted the session with humor and conducted it by asking questions to the individual role players as well. Always a good way to engage the speakers here. I'd like to especially refer to the three role players, that is the grammarian, the R counter, and the timer. All of them did a very detailed job. I really enjoyed it. Their attention to detail is very inspiring. And actually three of them are all new members, but two of them are young new members as well. And well done to you both as well, and to three of you there. With that said, the individual speeches were very good. They always increase their they increase or they improve each speech as well. In terms of use of stage, Toastmaster Rachel with her speech, always well prepared on the introductions, always gets us wrapped in for her speech. Toastmaster Fatima Kabi, she keeps improving, she keeps compounding her improvements. So well done, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman, with a very important story on mentoring, and Toastmaster Mariam Haji for smart work versus hard work. And as well as the evaluators, well done to Toastmaster Hamid, Mahmoud, Omar, and of course DTM Jahangir Khan. So well done there. And the table topic session was conducted smoothly by Toastmaster Kamal Al-Shahabi. He did also try to get the guests involved towards it, and that was well done. Overall, a good session. Now, with respect to suggestions, I'd say it's just one suggestion for myself as well as the Toastmasters here. The virtual format can sometimes get a little drier. So it's always good to be a little more energetic, because we're quite privileged to be here, get 2 hours in every 2 weeks to really give it our all for each role that we take, whether it's a general evaluator, whether it's the timer, whether it's a speaker. So to really put in that effort and really put in that that energy. So with that said, I'd like to close my general evaluators report. I will hand over the floor to our president, Toastmaster Mariam Maji, to present the awards and to adjourn the meeting. Toastmaster Mariam, the virtual floor is yours.
Hello. I'll be eating chips. Sorry, first snack of the day. Okay. Can I ask if the results of the poll are ready? Are the results ready or not?
Yes, they are ready.
Okay.
So
perfect.
I would need the sharing rights. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Saraya, if you can make him a host so he can share the screen.
is a co-host. He can. Johnny,
Dr. Threya?
Yes, you can share because you are a co-host. Can't you share, Johnny?
No, I'm logged in from another device, VP Education. Can you
So you
check
have
that?
to make him a host again.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm looking for your name.
VP Education.
Oh, okay. Now you can.
First of all, Madam President, before we proceed to the results, I would like to congratulate 3 speakers who have completed their level 2 in pathways. Toastmaster Gracial Mones, Toastmaster Fatma Al-Kabi, and Toastmaster Abdurrahman Khalid Janahi. All of them. With that, the club becomes 8th time the President Distinguished Club. So congratulations to your leadership.
Hey, that's amazing. Congratulations, guys, and
Finally, we did
congratulations,
it. Now
everyone.
for the results.
Thank you for working so hard, Johnny, to make this happen. And thank you to everyone who made this happen as well.
Teamwork. So yes, I will be.
Okay, let's move on to announcing the results. The best table topic speaker is BTM Khurram Salman. Congratulations, amazing job.
Next we have is
the best role player goes to Rovan Lobo, our Toastmaster of the day. He did a wonderful job with the meeting. And the best evaluator goes to Mahmoud Al-Mardi, first time evaluator and winner. Great, congratulations, Mahmoud. And the best speaker of the day goes to myself. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, I hope everyone had a great time today. I hope we all learned something about communication. I hope that you all vibe with the summer feels since summer has started officially. Our next meeting is going to be June 26th. I believe that's correct, right, Jani?
yes,
Yeah,
that's
June
correct.
26th. Perfect. We hope to see you all there, inshallah. I hope you had a wonderful time. And with that, I adjourn meeting number 168. Was it? Yes.
Just wait, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Yes, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. So the next meeting would be our last meeting. We will be again having a bit different agenda for the meeting. It would be induction ceremony of the 7 officers. We still have one position. We are stressing on that. We need to submit the list for the VP membership along with the 7 officers before the end of the term in the next 20 days. Please come forward for that. Our next meeting, as already mentioned, it would be a bit special. We'll be having the awarding for the best team, best Toastmaster of the year. All those awards will be shared virtually, and later on, inshallah, once it's better, we will be giving the trophies as it has been the culture of the club. On 29th, I would love to request everyone to take note. On 29th of this month, which is 29th of June, we will be having 1 hour long meeting. It will be 1 hour long meeting from 7 to 8. It will be a very short meeting in which we will be promoting our club for the general public to get more members for the club because the membership is declining. We will be having 1 speaker, 1 evaluator. Kamal will be presenting about how public speaking is important. Mariam Haji will be presenting about what is Toastmasters in general. I would be reaching out to 1 or 2 Toastmasters from our club. I would request you to please, once the marketing material is ready, DTM Khurram Salman, DTM Threya Juma, and Toastmaster Kamal Shahabi are working on it. So we are not giving you a lot. We are taking the burden on us. We are preparing everything, but we would need your help to spread the word of mouth in order for the club to get more members and more leaders and communicators for those who need this platform. So thank you once again. I'll be sharing about the agenda details in next couple of days. Take care, stay safe, good night. Good job, everyone. See you all.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Mariam.
Bye.
Bye,
See you.
everyone.
Bye. Good night. Stay safe.
You too. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.